of us, though, this weekend. Can I share this?
Nope.
Yes.
7 times.
8 collectively between the two of us this weekend.
It's a
Pretty
great
proud of that.
weekend.
That's pretty nice.
Was
And I enjoy
6
it.
of them hot tub?
No. I got 5. He got 3.
I'd
Okay.
be asleep right now.
It's pretty good. You'd be asleep.
6 and 3. That's no 5.
No,
and
5, 5 and 3. Yeah, 5 and 3.
Those are good numbers.
Those are good numbers. Like that tells me we had a good weekend. That's a good thing.
That's a phenomenal weekend. I mean,
Yeah. And I wasn't even into it today.
She wasn't. She was not
just
into
went
it.
with the flow. Hot tub was like, it don't matter.
And like her vagina is so unpredictable. And it has no connection at all to her brain.
So the hoo-ha got dusted off last week.
Uh-huh.
And then now it's just open for business.
Open. What?
All right, hot tub, go ahead. So
does this happen?
Connected.
Does this happen with your wife, Remy? Because some days she acts into it and can't get there, and then other days she's not into it and goes over and over and over.
It's the box theory. I really think it has to do with them being able to turn their brain off. I think the environment of the past 12 hours is going to make a big difference. Like vacation sex. Vacation sex is entirely different. It doesn't matter if you have a partner, friend, you're by yourself. It's just different because your brain's turned off. So I'm really buying into the box theory for that.
So true. That's so true. But my boxes were open today. I feel like I was still thinking about other things, and I laid there in bed. We had a sick kid today. So of course I'm thinking about how poor and pathetic he is, and oh, sweet baby. And so we're just kind of laying there in bed. We knew that it was the time to do it, and this is, our only chance, or, we know our time slots that we have available. I knew it wasn't really going to happen, but sometimes I just know that if he just gets going, like, I don't want foreplay. Let's not make out. Let's not, do all these things. Let's just go right after it. If I can just have something inside of me, then maybe things will just like start jiggling around and dust everything off. And
Reagan's
then bada bing, bada boom.
And it doesn't make sense to me because a lot of the logic is, okay, you've got to start with foreplay, you got to warm up. But I think as parents, it's kind of the opposite. Sometimes you just have to get after it and see if it works and be prepared. Sometimes it's not going to work, but sometimes it really will.
I do have a theory.
Oh, please.
And this just supports my other theory about how much better I've gotten since we got married.
Oh, please. Please do.
Because 10 years ago, I would have just been rubbing on you, tackling you, saying, and then I would have got pissed off because it wouldn't work. I'd be like, come on. I'm doing all my moves. Come on.
You do a little sexy dance.
But knowing you, and this is how everybody gets better with age. Once you know your partner, you just want to be talked to. We spent the first 20 minutes, half hour, just chatting with no agenda. And in the back of my head, I was like, this may not even go anywhere. This may be, we may call the whole thing off.
Yeah.
And I was fine with that. And I wouldn't have been fine with that 10 years ago. And knowing that I was fine with that allowed me to just chat and just try to make you laugh and talk about whatever and blah, blah, blah. And it took all the pressure off. And that, I think, is why it worked today.
And I came twice.
Stellar.
It was great.
You came twice.
No, you're absolutely right. I need the connection. I need the engagement. I will say sometimes I want him to engage. And it's not, I don't even care if he's engaging sexually. Sometimes I don't want him to engage sexually. I just want him to engage. I want him to talk to me because all day we are surrounded by our children, and we have many children, and they are loud and they get all up in my head. So I need a moment where someone's not touching me, because this whole freaking morning they were like on my lap touching me, and everyone was talking to me and touching me, there was a lot of noise. So when I know that my window is there, if he can just talk to me like a normal person, almost like we're dating again, not even flirting or what have you, but just like engaging with me. Yeah, that seems to be a better turn on than you trying to like rub all
Then my
over me.
moves, my
Stellar advice from
my
Hot Tub Brad,
20s and
guys.
30s moves.
All the
Mhm.
listeners, just talk to your lady. That's all there
Just
is
talk
to
to
it.
your lady.
Dude,
Not
that's all they
complicated.
want. They just want to talk all the time.
Oh, stop.
It's
Don't
true.
you
But
They
you
just want to talk.
engaged, and you were an active listener. Good job,
Okay,
bud.
but is Reagan like that too? Because I don't want to sound crazy, but I think there's something to it.
There is, and it is that way sometimes. But then others, she just wants to literally turn her brain off, watch a show, and then maybe she'll be like, "All right, let's bang one out, or let's use our toy, or something."
Yeah.
Just at the last minute, like right before sleep. But other times, she just passes out and show's over.
Mhm.
So you never know. So you kind of have to remove those expectations,
The
which I'm
expectations,
getting better at.
that's the bad word. The E word is
Mhm.
our bad word. I think that's what helped him today is that he did not have an agenda. He was not trying to get into my pants. He just wanted to talk. And we talk about fun things. We talk about an upcoming vacation. We talk about something silly that happened that day, even if it's with the kids. We talk about what we're going to do next weekend. We try to talk about things that are light enough that, there won't be any fighting or what have you. I mean, not that we're fighting much, but okay, then I'll say, don't talk about money if you wanna get laid.
True,
Don't do that.
true. Don't do it.
Only talk about that if you don't want to have
Oh,
sex.
Exactly.
it's the
But
anti-sex.
keep it light and keep it fun and especially if he makes me laugh, that's always a good one.
Girls like the funny.
Well, for some people, talking is very fun and natural and energizing. Like that's not for me though. I mean,
Mm-mm.
like I'm not the outgoing extrovert, so talking takes real. Like I have to make myself make small talk. It's like it doesn't come naturally to me. But
So at the
maybe
end of
for
these
Remy, it
podcasts, do you
does.
just pass out?
Yeah.
Well, after
Is
this
this
one, I probably
exhausting
will.
to you? Or are you talking about a bigger group?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't usually talk this much, so
No, you don't usually talk this much.
I kind of like it. It's a good
You got
vibe.
a free pass for tonight since we had our collective 8 this weekend.
once we listen to this playback, we may never do it again.
Or you might be a norm.
Oh, man. But no, he's an introvert where he does not get energy is sucked out of him when he's talking a lot and listening a lot. And he knows I'm not necessarily an extrovert. I think I'm right in the middle, introvert and extrovert. So I can get energy from being home alone and without anyone around me, but I can also get just as much energy from people, but I am certainly more extroverted than he is. Obviously, with us, Remy, thinking we can do a podcast and we're good with talking. This is more natural for us, not so natural for Brad. Yeah.
I think
But
I'm very open with my inner circle. But when it
yeah.
comes to broad strokes, just random people, I'm going to be friendly, but I'm not necessarily letting them in, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's hard to do. It's really hard
And
to
I,
do.
I didn't want to make it sound like it's exhausting to talk to you.
No, that's
That's
exactly how I took it.
because that's what it sounded like,
Ass. I'm
probably.
just kidding.
No, I think what I was trying to say is like for me, being in a public setting and making small talk with strangers is very difficult for me as an introvert. It's but at the same time, it's a lot easier for me to just climb on top of you and start rubbing on you than it is to make conversation, and like try to make a connection.
Mhm.
It's
So the
much easier for me to just
conversation is
go
the
straight to the stampeding to the clitoris. As a
That's
wise
his
man once
move.
once said.
Let's go
Says
straight
he's
at
getting
it.
better with age, but he just continues to stampede.
Hey, he's
I
like, I
don't.
found the magic
That's.
button. I'm just gonna turn it on.
I wonder if any of y'all get that reference.
No.
Stampeding towards the clitoris. You
No,
What's
don't
that
know what
bring
mean?
that's
it.
from.
Tell us. I don't even know that.
It's a Monty Python thing.
Oh, that's funny. Gosh. That's a pretty
Yeah.
good joke for Monty Python.
I'm so much older than y'all.
You are so much older than us. I love it.
So at the end of the day, I mean, I think we're just looking for our partners to, I don't know, accept us the way we are and encourage us to be turned on, and whether you're turned on or not, or accept us just the way we are. And sometimes that's not being turned on. And I don't know. I think as we get older, we learn to be a little bit more authentic with our partners. At least the marriages that you're making an effort at. I think
Yeah.
that authenticity is the missing ingredient that can really wreck a marriage if it's not present.
Yeah, I think it's important. We've got to talk to each other about it. It's fun too, as well. Like I enjoy that at the end of the weekend we're excited about the orgasms for the weekend, or we can talk about how crazy it is that I wasn't even remotely interested in sex and then I somehow got in the mood. And being able to talk about what worked and what didn't work. And to his point, it is still a mystery to him, and I'm sure it will be for the rest of our lives, but we're I think he gets a clue and I get a clue every time we talk more about it, and we get a little bit more intimate with each other to learn more about what it's gonna take, because we've got a lot more decades of sex with the same person, so we better enjoy
True.
it.
All right, Daddy. We talked a little bit earlier. You mentioned that you saw a comedian that you enjoyed. Tell me a little bit more about it for the benefit of our audience.
Have you seen Jim Jefferies on Netflix?
No.
Oh,
He's on
God.
Netflix. I love Netflix comedians.
Oh my god, we will scroll
So
through
easy.
all the comedians on
Yep.
Netflix.
Me too.
If we are bored with whatever movies are out or TV series that we're just you get an overload, first of all, but god, the comedians are so good. And Jim Jefferies is one that we've watched throughout the years, and he's so funny, but he also yells everything. Brad,
Oh,
you get that too, right? Like he's just yelling.
it supports Netflix and chill for real, though. I mean, once you're real
Yes.
chill, you just watch somebody funny, you laugh and get relaxed.
Mhm.
But if he's
Mhm.
yelling, is he too intense?
No, he's not too intense. I joke. Like he's so good. His delivery is just perfection.
Gotta check
And
him out.
the way he delivers it is so unique. I think that's why I say that he yells, but he's really funny, and we were watching it the other night, and he gave us this whole bit about being married, and how, of course, when you're dating, you have lots of sex, you're doing it all the time, and then when you are in a long-term relationship and become married, you kind of narrow down the sexual positions to a core 4. And we were cracking up, and he was joking about how, you're thinking about your core 4 right now. How many do you have? And you guys are gonna be talking about it on the way home. I mean, all of this. And so as that's happening, I'm cracking up, but of course, since we have a sex podcast, I'm thinking, "Well, shit, what are our core 4? I bet we have a core 4 too." But holy shit, Remy, we don't have a core 4. We have a core 2. When I really thought about it, and I
I don't
again,
believe that. Odds are
yes,
Brad probably has a core 24. I mean, this guy's a sexual enthusiast. I mean, he's a sexual Olympian.
but we're married, Remy, and that
Yeah.
is the reality here. We are married, and so I honestly thought there's no way we just have a core 4. We probably have a core 5 or 6. No. No, when I really think about it, what our go-to
Okay.
is just 2. And that it kinda blew my mind, because I thought, "Well, shit, we are just as boring as everyone talks about married sex." But and we have others that are like Brad says, it's in the rotation.
It's in the rotation. That's right.
Yeah. So we have plenty of other positions we've done and
Yeah.
tried, and we try to kind of add into the mix when we're trying to spice things up. But at the core, when we just want to get it done and get it done right, we have 2.
Okay, so for maintenance sex, just getting it done, everybody's happy. You have two.
Yeah.
But like for vacation sex, hotel room sex, are there more, or is it still the same two?
Oh god. Vacation I mean, truly, anything outside of the core is like we're open to so many other things. We really are. It's just not our go-to. We do other positions. We add other things into the mix, especially for vacation sex. Like there's shit that happens on vacation where I'm like, how did you get away with that? So there are things that happen, but when I think about like the true core 4, the true core positions that work every time, it's just 2. Brad.
So all those Kama Sutra books that we've looked at, just all bullshit. None of that really
It's
applies.
not that it's bullshit, and I promise, Remy, I promise I do other positions. We do other things, and they can become part of the rotation, but when I think about what actually does it every time, like when we're in a hurry, or we
Absolutely.
know we don't have much time, or, we just wanna like, we know what works and it's going to work each time. That's what I'm talking about our core for. It doesn't mean that or our core 2. It doesn't mean that we don't do other positions. It just means that that's, like, what we default to.
So
It's the
let me
default
guess.
sex.
On the stairs is one, and against the wall is another one.
Oh,
Bent over
that's
the
so
couch
sweet.
is
That
another
sounds
one.
really fun.
Oh,
We've never done it on the stairs.
oh,
Brad, so
it
sad.
doesn't sound comfy, but
No, not really. We have 2 sets of
they
stairs.
put it in movies
Neither
every
one.
time, though. And
Mhm.
I'm just like, that's not practical.
Yeah. Okay, take another guess, though. This is kinda funny.
Something in the hot tub for sure. It is hot tub Brad, so he's like, "Get out on the edge. Let me take care of you." No,
No, no,
I
that's
mean, I
not our
assume the
norm.
basics are your standard missionary and then
Yeah,
your girl on top. I mean, those are the basic two that seems like they make the most sense. Well, then doggy, the other one that comes to mind for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Okay, and that's what I thought was kind of interesting when and I collected some feedback from some of the girls in our group and another group. Like I just kind of like whatever my friend groups are, let's talk about this core four. What does this mean to you? I thought it was interesting. Uh, Most of them kind of grouped missionary as guy on top and girl on top both.
Hmm.
And that's not it, right? Missionary is
No.
technically the guy on top.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a guy on top laying down. But of course, he can be standing on the side of the bed, which is not really missionary.
I
There's
know I don't
different.
consider that missionary.
No, I don't either. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was quite the debate.
and then our bed
Um,
moves up and down, so that's kind of nice too. You can kind of change up the
mm,
angles.
yes,
Hot
Brad.
tub
Brad has a
Brad,
question.
May I interject?
of
No.
course,
No, you're
always
not part of
welcome.
this.
You're the
Hi,
producer.
everyone.
You can just silence the rest of us if you need to. So,
Thanks for
He
having me on the
will.
show. Well,
He's gonna
happy to be
silence
back.
what I just said. Yes, sir.
So, I haven't done a lot of
ooh,
research
called
on
you
this, but
sir.
I'm
Mhm.
assuming missionary is called that because it was like the only position allowed for the very religious missionary types.
Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Really? So it's just the man laying down on top of the woman. That would be considered like the classic missionary
Yes.
because
Patriarch
of
dominates. It's that sort of
oh,
thing.
man.
There could be
Like
roots
she
of
lays
that.
down and takes it and he gets up and
Where girl on top, she kind of controls it, and she kind of takes control of her own experience. So it's a little bit more female forward.
also my opinion on a missionary is it is the worst position.
I agree. We don't do it.
Wow.
We really don't do
Interesting.
much of it.
Why is it the
We
worst position?
Yeah, why is it the worst position?
I
Jeez.
don't like having to hold myself up
Oh
while
my
I'm
god, that's what I do the whole time. Oh my gosh.
You
This is
see, this is where the difference is because missionary is way more frequent for us because she gets tired if she's on top, so she wants me to do the work.
Oh my
So
gosh. That is
Brad's got
hilarious.
it where
We are
he's got
outing
you doing the work. All
everyone.
right.
I
All
know I'm the
right.
one who does all the work. Thank God I do Pilates. Jeez,
but hey,
Brad.
but it's not just that. It's also that missionary does not generally get you off.
Oh yeah, no, it
If
doesn't.
you came immediately every time, or
Mhm.
not even immediately, but like if
Yeah.
that worked for you, we would do it. But it's always like we do it for like a minute and they're like, "Okay, well,
Okay, but time
let's move
out.
on to something that actually works."
No, no, no. No. Time out because we don't just do positions that you think work for me. You know that. We do it either if it works for me or if it works for you.
We
So are
we
you saying it also does not work for you?
It does not work for me.
Okay,
I mean, I could yeah, I mean, I could finish that way, but it's not like super comfortable.
cuz you're using your muscles.
It's like I mean, it's like you're doing a push-up while you're having sex. It's not like
Hey,
super comfortable.
welcome to doggy style and girl on top, which are our core too.
Well,
So I get to do all the work.
So in
sorry.
defense of missionary, it is intimate. I mean, you can kiss you. It's more in your face.
It's true.
I mean, girl on top can be the same way, just depending how it goes. Where
We don't kiss. Yeah, we don't do a bunch of that.
one of our core is a little different than yours. One of our go-tos, this is known in some circles as a non-intimate position. We like the reverse cowgirl because that allows the Hitachi to get in the action in the
Oh,
mix.
so that works for y'all. We've
It
tried
does.
that, but it was not a hit for us. But
Although
we did
I
have
haven't
it at
tried a toy.
Hitachi,
Yeah,
You
I haven't.
need the Hitachi. I mean, this is something we've talked about for going on a
Yeah.
year now.
and then
I
you wouldn't
want to
have to
see the
look at me.
review. But then she gets a wonderful view of your
Win-win.
feet if she's into that sort of thing. So,
Oh my
I do
god.
have really nice feet.
Oh my
oh,
god. He
I've
was
been
just
told.
talking tonight about how nice his feet are.
oh, does he get
It's
pedicures?
really funny.
Maybe
No.
he
No,
can do the little feet site and get some money for the
Maybe he
show.
could. Oh my god. Start
That's
making some side
perfect.
money, honey.
We
yeah.
could advertise, get
I
all
mean, I
kinds
am
of
Yes.
naturally
new
gifted.
listeners.
It's really gifted.
What is the feet site that he can put his feet on and we can make money for the
I
show?
mean,
Suburban
we'll
Sex
find
Feet
out.
Site.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's more female feet, but
I know.
Probably, honey.
But
I
yours are
gotta say.
nice. I mean, I'm sure there's a market for that. Just
Yeah.
might
so
not be the girl you're thinking. It could be the dude you're not thinking of.
Right.
I have an opinion on
All right.
sex positions. I don't, and this may be an unusual opinion, but I think the multiple position sex is overrated. Like
What are you
we
talking
don't
about?
need 5, 6, 10 positions in
In
any
in one sitting.
encounter.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
But what it
Like I'm fine with having a core 1 or 2 or 3. I don't feel like I'm missing out.
okay, interesting. I don't know if we've ever had sex in one position start to finish though.
Oh yeah, on your knees, please,
Okay.
many times. When you're like, "Come on, let's just get it over with."
That is my quickie move. I call it like that's my not safe word. My Not the
Safe
right
word.
word.
Don't make it sound like a
Don't
I'm
say
not
it. Don't
I'm not
say it.
gonna say it.
Don't say it. You know what I'm saying though? Like my jumpstart word, like my you know, jump to it real quick. Whatever. When I say I want a quickie, that means that I'm probably not going to orgasm. I just need him to do what he needs to do, and I'm fine with it, and we just move on about our daily life. But
Maintenance.
also
So you're just
what?
giving him access.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the access. Um, and I will use my Pilates arm strength to hold myself up.
True.
Um, no, but
So you have a
that's
whole nother
true.
level of fitness that we're not giving you credit for here.
I mean, I really do. I think you all need to be aware of this. No, when we were, it was funny when we were talking about this at a girls' night a while ago. I mentioned doggy style and how I use a toy while we're in doggy style, and the girls were like, "You do what? You hold yourself up with one arm?"
Well, you can get a pillow under there, or there's other things you can do to kind of give yourself a little support.
I don't do it though.
Oh,
Yeah, she
Like,
doesn't.
no.
She just does. She one arms it every
Yeah.
time,
wow.
and I don't think I've given you enough credit for
Absolutely.
all the
Where's my fucking applause?
all the. Hold on.
Let's do it. Let's give me that credit.
I probably have not recognized enough your upper body strength.
It's impressive.
I actually didn't think that was an impressive thing, and until I was talking to the girls, and they were giving me shit for it. They're
So you're
like,
saying
you know, you
most
could just lay
ladies are
down."
not doing doggy
Apparently not.
one
I don't
arm
know.
doggy? No?
I,
Is that a new term?
I think that's more normal. I thought it was normal. I mean,
So it's normal
because
for you, Remy.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, we got
The
the
one arm
Hitachi rolling
doggy,
during that. I mean, well, the
like
pillows, we get other
laying
things to
down
support.
or up?
Yeah, laying
Laying
down. I mean,
down.
she uses pillows, or we've got this little liberator pad we'll use sometimes, but a couple of big pillows, and she's supported, and then gives enough access for the Hitachi to do its thing.
Okay, can I not that I'm trying to like visually picture this.
Oh, you are.
So, Reagan, I'm so sorry. But I think I just want to understand what you mean by don't do that. No. I'm not trying to get gross or weird, but no, truly, like where are the pillows placed? Because we just don't use any pillows. It is true. Just I'm holding myself up. So where
It
are you
just
saying
gives
is she
something.
laying down and like her
Yeah.
booty is elevated,
Oh yeah, booty up.
but the rest of her body is down?
Correct. And you kind of
Okay,
support
okay.
yourself on some pillows, so it's a little bit easier on the core.
Are we talking about like one
Instead
pillow,
of,
two pillow?
I mean, we got a couple pretty thick pillows she'll use.
Okay.
And I mean, it's different than someone who's trying to actively do a Pilates workout and just have the core just shaking during the sexual encounter. It sounds like you're kind of the Pilates girl. I mean,
No,
it's
I really
impressive.
like nothing is shaking. But
Hmm.
but now I feel like I need to do this and try this because
This is a Reagan conversation. You
I haven't
guys
really
need to
done
talk
that.
about it. You can kind of talk through and say, all right, how does this work? And,
Mhm.
she should
Mhm.
have been on the show. She could have told us some insights.
Well,
Because
I
I'm
mean I
just
can
a
ask her at any time.
person who watches. I don't really know.
Yeah.
You know.
No, but I mean that's another position that I enjoy. If you're just like laying on your belly, we don't usually use pillows, but if you're just laying on your belly, that's a different version. I can like get a toy
Absolutely.
in
The
there as
angle is
well.
totally different.
Mhm. Yeah. But back to the core 4. I mentioned what our 2 are, and I will say one of the other girls that I chatted with have the exact same 2. Start with doggy, end with girl on top. And so there's 2 of us. I will not give you their name, but there are
Absolutely
2 of us that have
Show
that
notes.
true
not. Put it in the show notes.
Girl, I will not let him put it in the show notes, I
Oh,
swear.
that's funny.
But there are 2 of us that have the exact same core 2. But it's just funny to me because here I am with a sex podcast and I thought, "Oh, core 4, I'm sure we have more than that." But when I really think about it, there's really not. It's actually core 2.
Well,
But we have plenty more in the rotation. And
we
that's the point. We keep it spicy. Go,
we
Brad.
69. used to be in our rotation,
You're right.
and I don't know how it fell out of the rotation, but and this may not be a popular opinion, but as someone who's a cunnilingus enthusiast, it's
Gross.
one of my favorites.
Oh my god.
And I don't like I don't understand why it's not everyone's favorite because you're
Yeah.
getting a blowjob while you're doing this. Like, how is a
Every
position
man's
where
favorite.
you're getting a blowjob not everyone's favorite?
Yeah.
And the women are getting the blowjob equivalent. So why are we not doing this more?
I don't
Let's
know.
normalize the 69
Oh my god, stop
people.
with the normalized
Hi, you
word.
guys need to talk to my partner there because Reagan, it's not even in the rotation. She's kind of like she's a one track mind kind of girl. So, you know, she's kind of focused on what's happening to her or she's giving, but two at the same time never really occurs. So I haven't even had the 69 experience
Ever?
ever because she's just
What?
not into it.
What do you mean
Seriously,
ever? No, no,
Ever?
no. I
no.
don't believe that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, Brad is gonna call Reagan immediately after this show.
yeah.
Maybe. I mean, seriously, that's what I'm saying. If it's that good, somebody needs to take her to school.
There's no there's no fucking way y'all have never had a 69. Y'all been married like 40 years. Come on,
Not
man.
correct. That's not accurate. 69, I think, has a connotation as if it's, like, really slutty, and in the end, it's not that bad. It's not that hard. It's not that
Not that bad.
difficult. No, 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 I'm like, but if he's had 2 decades with her, and there are probably many women out there who have never done it with their spouse. I'm saying it's not it's not scary. It's not like, and not that I think it's scary.
My question for you, wife, I feel
Oh.
like it was more frequent in the rotation a few months back, maybe last year. I don't know.
Are you kidding? Pre-children. Come
No,
on.
no, no, no. Not
Yes,
that long ago.
pre-children.
Like maybe a year ago.
No.
Has there been
You
a
think
conscious decision on your part to be like, nah, I don't want that anymore?
No, there's not been a conscious decision actually. But I
Mm.
I do agree that it's been less frequent. We used to do it more often. And it was probably, I wouldn't call 69 part of the core 4, but it
It used
was
to be.
more. I don't think so. I don't think I would not have called it a core, but I would have said that it was part of the rotation. Now it's not part of the rotation. So I'm sorry for your loss,
Yeah,
and
but
maybe
why?
we can get it back.
Yeah, but
No,
why?
I really don't have a good reason for that. No. I'm sorry. We can get it back. You know what?
Hashtag couple goals.
I know, right? Please. He's complaining that he doesn't get it enough. So it's not couple goals yet. Give us a
So
couple months when my people pleasing skills get back into
back
play and I'm like,
to
"Oh, my husband wants 69 again."
back to the positions. Um, Clearly, doggy and the girl on top are in the front because they're the best,
They are the
obviously,
best. Let me tell you, out of all of the votes, girl on top is number 1, doggy is
as it
number
should
2.
be.
Mhm.
Girl
Yeah.
on top is like Remy. I don't know about you, but if I had to pick one that I could only do for the rest of my life, that would be it. What about you?
That's a good one for sure. We kind of go back. I mean, we definitely do missionary some, but I think the most frequent is I'd probably say it's equal between girl on top, missionary, and doggy. But we do a lot of reverse cowgirl as well, just because that gives access for toys, especially if everybody's trying to get there.
You must pick one.
Must pick one. Dang. See, I literally have a core 4 or 5. I mean, we rotate a lot. And then, weekdays, it is a lot of the side by side just because everybody's tired. But on weekends, it's always start with missionary, but end up with girl on top because that's generally the thing that works for everybody.
You must pick one.
All right, we'll say
Don't
girl
put
on
the
top,
pressure on.
even though it's not realistic in my world because she wants me to do most of the work.
Wait. Hold on. I want the realistic. I don't want I
Mhm.
don't want what you want. I want what you guys are actually doing on a regular basis. And I
We switch it up. I
think that's
mean,
the reality.
missionary, girl on top, side by side, reverse cowgirl, and doggy. I mean,
It sounds
those are
like
the
you
ones
have
we
an
switch,
actual core 4.
or five
Yeah.
in this case. I mean, if you really count the weekday maintenance, just everybody get off and call it a day, which I don't know if that even really counts.
Of course it counts. If it's in
It
the
counts
rotation,
if
it
it's
counts.
yeah.
Weekday, I was tired, just get it done. Not weekend where, hey,
Totally
look, we've
counts.
got time to fully enjoy and experience and be more connected.
But Remy, I still think I am not counting what's in our typical rotation as the core 4. I'm not. Because sure, we can add in 69, we can add in one of us standing up, we can add in reverse cowgirl, all of that. We can add in side by side, all of this. We don't do it as often. I am talking about the core, the basics that you always keep going back to that work every time for both of you.
If I had to pick one, it would probably be girl on top for me, but realistic, it's probably missionary and doggy because both of them are easier on her and requires less work on the wife's
Yeah.
part.
You know what? That's the right approach, and I think that's what makes it core is because we've got a lot of sex ahead of us for however many decades. So yes, let's pick the ones that are easier to get to and easier to come to. Truly.
Mhm.
Okay, so you picked the top 3 that based on all of our friends who also voted. Number 1 was girl on top, number 2, doggy, number 3, missionary. Let me tell you, boys, every other position had only 1 vote each. So sure, there's reverse cowgirl, there's side by side, there's using different props. There's like a bathroom sink, a an ottoman with a full-length mirror.
Nice.
Mhm. There's different toys that they use. There's like a scissor, face down, fully laying down. So there
Scissor me.
you would love that. But
Well, I'd love for our audience to kind of chime in. What are your core 4 or core 2? Or is there something else in your rotation that we haven't even mentioned? Some sort of crazy wheelbarrow circus sex move that we haven't even thought of.
I mean, there's a ton in the Kama Sutra books, but back to like the reality of married sex, Remy, that I think everyone kind of defaults to what works for them. If a woman has never come once from a position, she's probably not going to want to keep doing it.
That's right. If it's not working, try something
Mhm.
else.
Move on to something else. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the only reason why Brad gets any sort of thought that 69 is in the rotation is because it's worked before. No. Don't make that face. I say it in love for the most part. But let me tell you, out of all the votes that I received, boys, the out of our sample size, for the most part, there was not a core 4. Most had a core 2 to 3.
And
It
what was the
ranged.
Wow.
the final tally? Was girl on top number
I
1?
maybe you should pay attention when you edit this episode and you can review what I'd already provided. But let me share it
Oh,
again. Let me share it
girl on
again.
top.
Number 1, girl on top. Look at Remy. Remy's taking notes. He is
Yeah,
paying
listen.
attention. Okay, number 1, girl on top. Number 2, doggy style. And number 3, missionary.
Mm.
Brad's worst position.
I know missionary was not ours, that's for sure. But we voted girl on top and doggy. Those are our two. But there are others that are part of the rotation, and I think that's why we keep things spicy. Is that we know our two very core go tos that will work each time, and we know when we need to go back to those. And even today, he asked, "Do you want the same thing? Do you want to go back to being on top, or do you want something new?" And today, I wanted to go back to what's going to work for me. So let's go right on back to me on top. But we started the exact way we always do. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes we both need to change. I I love when Brad just tells me to do a different position. So just Brad's eyebrows just raised with that one. But it it's good to have your core, but it's also good for each of you. I think it's nice for my husband to do this, and I know he would love if I did this more, to say, "No, pin me against the wall this time," or "Bend me over that ottoman this time," or "Let me, throw me on that bathroom sink," whatever it is.
I think it's a dance. I mean, it's all about being adaptable to your partner, and that's the goal here. It's not necessarily to be like us or to be like someone else, but it's to find out what works. And
Yes,
sometimes you got to get outside the box to if it's what you're doing isn't working.
absolutely. Yep. And I think that's what I wanted out of this exercise here. It's not to I mean, it's kind of fun to know what's happening behind closed doors, so there's a little bit of that. I enjoyed just kinda getting to know what everyone's core positions are, and just to understand how as we are married and we have these long-term relationships, how what we kind of what patterns we fall into. I mean, we all do, but I love that we can kind of take those as our core and then just build on it. So as we, add new positions here and there, it's just fun to kind of spice things up, and that's what we're all about.
Absolutely.
Good. Well, good. Shall I close it out? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Shall I close it out? I can close it out. Okay. Okay. Um, so no matter what your core 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 are, who knows? I mean, good on you. But depending on what your core are, I mean, whether it's you've got these top 5 positions, or you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. There's also that too. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's whatever is working for you, and how you can kind of add new things to the mix. I think that's how we enjoy what we're doing and how we can continue to make it fun. And we certainly have fun talking about it. So, we enjoyed talking about it with you, and we are wishing you all the best of your very own core or non core suburban sex.